The 2025 MG Pre-56 Rally was held in the lower North Island city of Palmerston North. Palmerston North has a population of around 80,000 people. Palmerston North is an inland city, and this gave us access to the beautiful Manawatu countryside, and we certainly took every opportunity to enjoy it. The weather was fine and the roads were beautiful. The rally was opened by Pat Widdop. In the background you can see the flags from every country that people attended the rally from. Lynette Love introduced His Worship the Mayor.
It's good for our city, and we appreciate you coming out. And actually, as it turns out, it's Local History Month in New Zealand, and that started today. So there's a whole lot of history things happening around our city and region over the next month.
To the amusement of everyone attending, Peter Croft gave us his memories of Palmerston North.
In Palmerston North on a train and got off at the square because the main line used to travel right through the middle of Palmerston North.
The MG Pre-56 Rally 2025 started in earnest with a concours de tat in the square in Palmerston North. I'm here talking to Frank Langridge about his 1935 MG NB MG. Frank, this is a pretty special car.
Yes, well, it certainly isn't as it left the factory. It was a four-seater tourer when it left the factory,
Right.
but lay abandoned for many years, and so when I got it there was no body. It was just a mechanical chassis, wheels were missing, so it's a car that's been started from scratch effectively.
Okay. And it runs a six-cylinder supercharged engine.
That's right, it's a six-cylinder overhead camshaft.
Yep.
The final flowering of the overhead camshaft models.
Well, it was pretty advanced for 1935, isn't it?
It was.
Yes.
It was fairly advanced.
Yeah.
And too expensive to keep producing.
Right.
So
Yeah.
when Leonard Lord took over the MG Works, he ensured that this was one of the first parts of the MG company that was deleted.
Right. Yeah.
So no more racing, no more overhead camshaft models. Back to the Morris parts bin.
Yes, yeah, there was certainly that period was a huge change for MG from its racing free days to corporate controlled days, wasn't it?
It was indeed.
Yes.
It became money orientated, of which of course it should be, being a manufacturing business. So,
Yeah.
so I designed my own body. I was a graphic artist originally, so
Okay.
I designed my own body, and we built it up from there.
Right. How long did it take you to do the car? Is that a dangerous question?
Not really. People will laugh when I tell them 14 years, but
Yeah.
I said if you don't believe it takes that long, have a go at it yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, just collecting all the right bits and then getting them in the right order. is a
Well,
big
doing
job.
the research and as you say, collecting the bits does take a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't do it in 5 minutes.
No.
And then, of course, if you have to have parts made, that even takes longer.
Yes. Yes. And not a cheap hobby at that point
No.
either.
No.
So.
Don't tell my wife what it cost.
No, we won't. We won't. But I'm sure it's a lot of fun out on the road, though. I'm sure you're enjoying it.
I do enjoy it. It's only done 142 miles now, still needs running in.
Okay.
Excuse me, but we'll get there.
Yeah, by the end of the week, it'll have done a few more.
It
So.
will have done indeed.
If you like this video, please tick like, subscribe and share it with a friend. More videos at by George NZ.
I'm talking to Wally Spicears, who's from New South Wales in Australia. Wally, you're driving one of Gary Wall's cars.
Yes, I am, yeah.
Which one is it?
It's a WA, 39 WA,
Yep.
and it's absolutely magnificent car to drive.
Great. You enjoying the drive?
Enjoying the drive,
Yep,
yes.
yep.
Especially with our tailgating of all the cars. There's 9 of us here all together,
Yep.
and we're all driving in convoy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, when you
very enjoyable.
mention Gary Wall's name, you've got to identify the car because he's got a few, hasn't he?
Oh,
So-
has got a few, and this is our second venture.
Okay.
Especially in this particular car.
Yeah.
We did the Napier one last year, and here we are again in Palmerston North.
That's good. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're here at the MG Rally and we've got a really international flavour today. On my left I have a Canadian and on our right I have American Mike Shell, Texas. So after the concourse is over we're going to have a boxing match.
Because I'm going to talk to him about becoming the 51st.
Oh yeah, and we're going to talk to you about taking over California and Maine.
You can have it. You can have it.
But the main thing, the joy of MG is it's called the mark of friendship, and in reality we're all good friends here. And we're talking to Tim about his MGTD.
Yep.
You're from Toronto in Canada?
Well, yeah, I lived in Toronto for 23 odd years.
But you lived in New Zealand for?
I'm originally born in New Zealand.
Okay.
And went there in the early 70s.
Yep.
And then met this lovely Canadian girl.
Who's hiding off screen?
Yep. And yeah. And so in 97 we bought this car.
Okay.
And then restored it.
Yep.
And then have driven it last 38 years.
Okay. All over the country?
Yeah, all over Canada and a lot of the eastern seaboard.
Oh. Okay.
And all out to the eastern seaboard of Canada to Maritimes and so forth there. And then when we moved back to New Zealand to Nelson in 97, we brought it with us and Rob's J2.
Okay, yeah. And you find it all right driving on the right side of the road here?
It's a bit weird because, you know, in Canada I drove the J2 and that was the steering wheel on the wrong side again.
Having the concourse in the centre of town made it easy to slip away for refreshments. Later on we slipped away to Cartown, the local MG dealer, for refreshments. They even laid on classical music. And it was certainly a party that everyone really enjoyed. Time to catch up. The next day was our navigation trial, so we left the city behind and got out onto the country roads. The roads were beautiful, the weather was fine, and it was a good drive. Part of the trial was on an optional gravel road, where you had to go up to the top of the hill and find out what the farm was, which was an ostrich farm, and count the windmills. We counted 33. I think there might have actually been 34 altogether. Either way, the gravel road was a bit of fun and certainly didn't do any damage to the cars. There's something really attractive about a vintage MG on an old Kiwi gravel road. Part of the trial took us through Palmerston. As you leave the town, you can see this 1941 ex-Air Force Harvard. The next day was the speed events. Unfortunately, the weather turned nasty. It hadn't rained much in the Manawatu for months, but today was definitely a bit on the wet side. The idea of this test is for you to judge the width of your car. Clearly some MGTFs are wider than others.
28 mil. Oh, very good.
We were going to have a bit of a run on the speedway track. Unfortunately the clay was so sticky it was undrivable, as Jeff Brader said. However, the grass part of the events was actually a lot more fun. The grass becomes very slippery and makes it quite a challenge and quite a lot of fun to drive a decent time. Here was a very good run put in by Gay Baxter in her MGA Deluxe.
Through here, zigzag up and down, and you've got to stop, go straight like that to the line.
Daniel Richardson from Auckland.
1, go!
Sometimes in slippery conditions, throttle control is everything. This TD was very smoothly and very nicely driven.
Okay, I think I remember where to go. Okay.
Also having a good day was Daniel Richardson from Auckland in his MG J2.
No, this is my second on this. He didn't tell me the first time. Third. This is my third.
Yes, it really was that slippery. The prize-giving dinner was at the Golden Time, which gave everyone time to reflect on what had been an excellent rally. A special thanks to Pat and Lynette for all their hard work. To wind up the evening, Gary Wall was given a special presentation from all his friends. See you in Ashburton.
This is a 1931 MGM type. It's the oldest car at the rally. It's owned by Pat and Lynette.